Now, ladies and gents, many of you will know that China, it is the biggest contributor to the new energy vehicles sales that get generated globally. I mean, ladies and gents, this country, we've been seeing it being the one with over 50% of the market share since, of course, the year 2022, which is something that is pretty amazing, pretty good, and it looks like analysts are forecasting it to continue that way. I mean, as soon as screening this year, this China new energy vehicle market, it is expected to contribute or constitute to around 60% of global sales, which is something that is pretty amazing, pretty good, because in China right now there are some car companies that are forecasting or are seeing themselves doubling their sales, which is something that, of course, it is a pretty good thing. And with our favorite EV stock NIO, ladies and gents, you'll know that their sales forecast for this year is around 200, or it's up to 230,000 vehicles for the NIO brand only, because you will know that in the Q4 NIO will officially start selling their sub brand by the name of Alps, who the deliveries, we are yet to see the predictions or the projections that NIO will tell us, but we all know that that sub brand, ladies and gents, chances are it is going to sell way more than NIO, because its target market compared to that of NIO, which is the main brand, is of course different. Alps targets the mass market, whereas NIO is for middle upper class, which is something that, of course, to get to see or to get to know that, of course, NIO will be selling, of course, that sub brand starting in Q4. It is something that is always good. So China continues to grow. With this, China continues to, of course, thrive into these new energy vehicles. There are companies like Li Auto that are forecasting, of course, 800,000 deliveries for this year, which is like a double from the kind of deliveries they reported back in 2023, because 2023 Li Auto saw around 400,000, and now they are forecasting 800,000. There are companies like Neda, Lip Motors that are also expecting to double their sales this year, which is something that is pretty good. But of course, my focus, or our focus, is on NIO, because NIO is where, of course, we've put, or I've personally put my money into, and I hope to see this stock recover. I mean, where NIO is currently trading at right now, I don't think it's justified or it's aligned to their fundamentals, because this is a company that continues to grow fundamentals, but the stock price continues dropping. The share price is not following what the fundamentals of NIO are doing. They are so much disconnected, which is something that, of course, we hope to see these fundamentals against the share price connecting once again in the near future, because, ladies and gents, we are going to continue seeing NIO growing. That is a showcase. That is a definite showcase where we are going to see NIO growing in terms of sales, in terms of technology. I mean, there are so many of the things that NIO is doing. NIO is just not into a business of selling cars, but they are also in a business of course, making sure their cars have the best technology you can ever find on a car. And those of you that have been following NIO, you can also attest to that. We don't need to go through some of the technologies that you can find onto NIO cars, or some of the unique technologies that you can find into NIO cars but not find into many other EV cars, which is something that shows you, or has to tell you, that NIO, ladies and gents, it is in this business to not be one of the biggest company in terms of car sales, but they will also want to be one of the top technology companies when we look into this fast growing EV industry. So I like NIO, and though the share price is dropping sharply, I mean, yesterday we saw, of course, the share price, or the stock price, ladies and gents, closing below $5.90, and it is not something that is good. And already pre-market is down yet again. There are so many people that are projecting NIO stock to further decline to $4. I don't know, I'm not a technical guy, but fundamentally what I can tell you is that NIO continues to grow, NIO continues to do well. NIO, it is one of the companies that right now in January, it will see its sales beating all the sales that they've generated for the month of January in previous years, which is something that is pretty good. We could see NIO seeing total sales or 20% increase year over year in terms of sales tomorrow when they announce their January deliveries, which is something that is pretty good and something that shows you the growth that we are witnessing or that we are seeing from car companies like NIO. Hence, I'm saying the fundamentals of this company continues growing, but the share price continues doing the opposite of what the fundamentals of the stock are doing. I mean, in NIO, ladies and gents, from the technology that they've been deploying, from the battery swapping station, of course, model that they've been deploying, which is showing to work perfectly fine. I mean, there are some people that bash this NIO battery swapping station technology. I mean, to know that the NIO users have completed over 36 million swaps as it stands, or almost 37 million swaps. That just has to show you that this model, it's working for NIO. This is an alternative over the charging that, if you want to, overcharging that offers convenience to those that buy the NIO cars and subscribe to bus. So this is something that is pretty good. This is a technology that you only find onto NIO when you look into the other EV companies out there, which is something that makes me to be really excited. So sales wise, yes, we know that on the NIO brand, or the 230 might be low. So sales wise, the 230,000 for the NIO brand might be too low, but you must remember that that is the, of course, segment that, of course, it does not have a lot of people that can buy those kind of cars. But we look forward to, but still with that, the 230, or should NIO produce that 230,000 as they are predicting, it will still be a 30% increase year over year onto the NIO brand. But when you go into the sub brand, we don't know, but hopefully we get to see the figures that will make NIO deliver over 250,000 deliveries for this year, including the sub brands. Otherwise, I make tons and tons of stock market investing videos, and I just thought I'd just give you this quick updates of saying, ladies and gents, analysts are still expecting China to continue lead, or to continue being the king in the new energy vehicles sector, which is something that is pretty amazing. And to know that NIO is one of the leaders in this industry, it makes me to be very excited, and it makes me to look forward to the kind of sales, the kind of market share that China will be having 2030, 2035. But we hope for the best. I hope to see car companies like NIO continue growing, and the share price or stock price also recovering. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey, and God bless you all.